Now, South Africa is one of 17 countries targeted in a recent cyber attack. North Korean hackers called the Lazarus Group are believed to be behind the attack. Cybercrimes across digital banking platforms alone increased by 75% in 2018, and this has resulted in losses of more than 262 million rand. The University of Johannesburg's Basie van Soms joins us now. Basie, very good to have you with us. Talk us through this latest cyber attack.
Well, there are lots of reports and lots of reviews on precisely what happened, but the general feeling is that, according to reports that came out, this Lazarus Group, which is very closely apparently related to North Korea, has attacked countries all over the world in the cyber sphere. And as you rightly said, 17 countries have been listed, and South Africa is one of the countries that was listed. I think this is just an example of where we are going with cybercrime and cyber attacks against small businesses, big businesses, and me and you in the street. It is a growing, big problem, and I think it's about the biggest form of illegal making money in an unauthorized way in the world.
The UN has stepped in on this latest attack because it's so widespread and they're so worried about it. I mean, do we have any idea what their aim was in this attack and what sort of impact it has had on South Africa?
Well, very little is known about what happened in South Africa. That's interesting to me. We are listed, but we haven't heard locally from any organization or bank or whatever it is that they were hit. Most probably we will not hear, because if such an institution was hit and money was stolen, usually they don't report it. They don't have to report it at this point of time. And about a few weeks ago, the Joburg municipality was hit by a cyber attack, and fortunately they had aspects in place, rules in place to recover. But we will not hear. I think there are so many cyber, well, I'm not thinking, I know that there are so many cyber attacks happening in countries and in South Africa which we will never hear about, because it's so sophisticated and the bodies involved are not reporting it. Maybe we get to that point when the cybercrime bill, which is in front of Parliament, and the Poppy Act becomes a full act. It might happen, but at the moment we are not aware. Me and you are not aware what's happening cybercrime-wise in South Africa and
just
in
tell
the
me
world.
something.
It is just a massive approach.
Are we not aware of this? Is there a lack of information because companies don't want us to know that they have been weakened, that they are possibly vulnerable?
Oh, surely. It's a brand name. It's a reputation aspect. You know, if you report that your customer data had been exposed to the internet or to cyberspace, of course it will impact your reputation. That's why it is kept secret or closed or under wraps. But I think we are moving towards an area or a time where it will have to be reported. And I think that's what South Africa needs. That's what we need to be more proactive in terms of cybercrime, is to act and to ensure that the ordinary man in the street, and the biggest attacks in South Africa are happening against the man in the street with banking fraud and small and medium companies, because they haven't got the expertise and they haven't got the money to secure themselves.
So I should imagine some of these attacks have a political agenda. We don't know what's behind this latest one, but that one that you're talking about now that affects probably you and me, there's the greed factor. Do you ever give in? I mean, is there some sort of bribery element in this?
Well, the attack vector that the cyber criminals use, called ransomware, that's precisely what they do. They hack your system and then they just insecure or encrypt your data so you can't get your data. And then you have to pay a ransom to get your data back. And I think that it's happening in South Africa and it's happening all over the world, that companies are paying the ransom to the cyber criminals to get their data back, although experts all over the world warn, do not do that, because you're not sure you're going to get your data back, and you must have the necessary measures in place. I think many companies recover because they have good policies in terms of having everything backed up. And that's one hint that every company should have. Back up your data as comprehensively as possible, so when you are hit by such an attack, you can recover.
Pasi, petrifying, but thank you for explaining it to us.